Hello, I'm Berni Xiong, Life Spark with Berni Xiong LLC at www.bernixiong.com. Today is Monday, February 28th, 2011, and this is episode 12 of Get a Life Spark. All right, folks, topic of discussion today, focus and discipline, or lack thereof. Anyway, I coach a lot of different types of people, many people who are very creative, a lot of innovative people, many entrepreneurs, many small business owners, many people in consulting, many people who work for a corporation and are trying to start something on the side so that they can gain more flexibility and freedom in their life. And it's no surprise to me that at the core of the issues and barriers that many of these people face, it's usually lacking a certain level of focus or discipline at certain times in their life or certain areas of their life, and it throws them off course and causes them not to be as effective, not to be as productive, and not as successful as they would like to be at the current place they are in their life. And so this happens for many reasons. Why do you think it happens? I know you know the answer. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. We create these barriers ourselves because we end up getting distracted by other things. Maybe things that don't seem as important. Maybe things that don't seem as urgent. Just things that we end up allowing to get in our way because we need to deal with them for whatever reason we feel compelled to. Perhaps it's an emergency that happened and we've got to stop what we're doing and take care of the emergency because that's just what we need to do, right? Perhaps it's something that seems so important to somebody else, and if we are people who are prone to pleasing others and not really focusing on the things that we need to stay disciplined with, then we end up stopping what we're doing to go and serve others, right? Because it makes us feel better to help other people to feel better about the situation we're helping them out in. It could be you're bored with what you need to do that seems so routine or tedious or something that is not really interesting to you, but it needs to get done, right? For example, if you're a business owner and you hate handling the accounting and the financial piece, and when you get to that part, what do you end up doing? You end up surfing the web, going on Facebook, updating statuses, chatting with people. I'm speaking for myself here, by the way. Anyway, so these things end up happening because for whatever reason, we're not really in tune with what we're doing. We allow ourselves to be distracted and interrupted by other things that may not be as important or necessary at the time, but for whatever reason, we get pulled away. We allow ourselves to be. And so why? Why does this happen then? You know, we know what's happening. Why? It's because we have not prioritized in our lives at that very moment the things that we should do based on what we want more out of in life, what we want to achieve. So if I'm somebody who, this is a real situation, I'm working on getting a six-pack this summer, and I laugh about it because I've never had a six-pack in my life. I've been, pretty lean and thin for the majority of my life, but I've never had definition in my abs. And so if I was to sit here and say I can't wait to have my six-pack in June of 2011, I can't wait to wear that bikini and look great in it, but then I end up sitting here every day eating, cheeseburgers and donuts, which, by the way, I love desserts, so this isn't far from the truth at times. But I'm not working out. I'm not, taking care of my health. I'm not being active. I'm just kind of laying around and being a couch potato. These things are not going to serve what I'm trying to do. I mean, this is obvious, right? If you're sitting there not working out and you're not eating right, you're not going to develop the six-pack that you want. And so we know this. We all know this. But for some reason, as logical as that seems and as commonsensical as that is, what do we end up doing? We still end up making excuses or avoiding these things, and we end up getting distracted and interrupted, not performing the action steps that are going to help project us forward into, the place where we want to be in our life or career or relationship. And what do we end up doing? We create the same bad old habits and patterns that continue to keep us where we're at, And if it's a place where you're not very happy or you're not very content, then you know what? You're going to stay in that place. You know, it's like that saying they talk about insanity. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That's exactly what's happening if you are not being focused and disciplined. So how can you become more focused and disciplined in life? It's not a cookie cutter formula, and I'm not going to tell you that it's super easy, because it's not. It takes a lot of time and attention and consistency in your behaviors to make sure that you're continuing to reinforce those things that's going to help you to stay focused and disciplined. But I will say this, first step is to prioritize. And I'm not talking about you have to prioritize your whole entire life and stick to that plan for the rest of your life. It's just basically, let's prioritize my life in fragments. Let's prioritize my career. Let's prioritize my relationship. Let's prioritize, my self-esteem, my well-being. And then on top of that, let's prioritize it on a more regular basis that's more manageable for me. If I'm somebody who works on a day-to-day basis and I need to do a task list every single day, and I check off my tasks every single day to see what I've accomplished today, then why am I not prioritizing the things that are going to help me move in the direction that I need to be more successful that day? Let's say I'm somebody who works more on a weekly task list, a weekly log, rather than on a daily basis, then the frequency should be weekly. Weekly, I take a look at my list of priorities and then the tasks that accompany those priorities, and then I've got to just make sure that I stay disciplined enough to get those things done and to do them, okay? And that's not the hardest part. The easiest part is developing that list, is determining what the priorities are. Here's the hardest part. The hardest part is getting yourself to be held accountable and to stay consistent and stay on it. And that's many reasons why the people who have come to me and hired me as their coach was because they said, Berni, I know these things already. I understand these things and I know what I needed to do. I needed you to be there to be my accountability partner and my sounding board when I'm starting to feel like maybe I'm a little scatterbrained or a little bit thrown off course. I want you to be my voice of reason and to help me to understand what I need to do to get back on track. And so if you can't do this on your own for whatever reason you don't believe you can, get yourself some support. Hire a coach, someone like me. Ask a really close and trusted friend or business partner or somebody who can really help you to stay accountable. But the fact of the matter is this, the easiest part is creating that list and understanding how you should prioritize your life, your career, your relationships. The hardest part is being held accountable, staying on it, and being consistent enough to keep doing it every single day until you achieve a level of success that you want. So there you go, folks. That's it. The focus and discipline all starts with how you prioritize your entire life. Thank you for chiming in to this week's video blog. Next week, Monday, will be another amazing topic. I have changed the format slightly because I really wanted to be more strategic in how I'm able to help and serve all of you. So I will be identifying the topics of discussion again, and this time in advance I will be posting it out on all my social media sites, the topics in advance, so you can really chime in and you can have a great understanding of what's going to be covered in upcoming weeks. So that's really how I want to help serve you differently. You see that? I love how we can work together and interact this way. You guys help me to continue to improve, to be better, and serve you better. And as a result, I know ultimately you gain from that, because then you are reaping the rewards of that level of improvement that I'm able to do for myself. And I hope that that has helped you and empowered you and encouraged you in so many ways for you to continue with your continued progress and growth and self-development. Anyway, thanks again, you guys. Make it a great week. I will see you next week, Monday. Bye-bye now. www.bernixiong.com. That's where you can get a hold of me. Bye, guys.